Hi, good evening, everybody. It's Kenny Fogle. Glad you could join us tonight on Community Focus here in Nelson County. And we appreciate you tuning in as we're getting closer to the holidays now. Certainly want to wish everybody a great time as we're coming on. And we want to introduce a special guest we got in the studio today, Miss Sue Downs. And Sue, well, first of all, you just retired as how many years as heading up the Flaget Memorial Hospital out here?
Well, Kenny, I was at Flaget for 20 years and in healthcare for about 44 years. So it's been a long and wonderful career. Really enjoyed it.
Well, let's go back a little bit. I mean, obviously, you know, 44 years in healthcare, something spurred you at some point in your life to say, I want to help people in the medical field. I mean, what exactly made you decide to do that?
Well, I had great parents, Kenny. My mother was actually a student nurse in World War II, and that's where she met my father in Florida. And he was in World War II as a Navy pilot. So they met there, and when she married, she had to drop out of nursing school because they wouldn't let you continue back then. But when she moved to Kentucky, as his wife, she was always involved with helping other people and also kind of did some nursing on the side. Back then you could kind of do that. And so when I saw her doing that, I was very interested in how that seemed to help other people, and a life of service seemed like something that I wanted to do. So.
Well, you started nursing, and now has nursing changed considerably in the many years you've been in it?
Oh, yeah. We've had a lot of good technology happen along the way. So. You know, I think that when I began, a lot of the diseases that we have today that are really chronic diseases like cancer used to really take a lot of lives. But today, it's more treated like a chronic disease, cancer is, and most are treatable, most are actually curable. So it's a really different world than when I entered it 44 years ago.
How much medical knowledge would you need to be a nurse? I mean, is it something that you are, because I see nurses are taking over a lot of areas. I don't know if it's shortage of doctors, I don't know what it is, but it seems like nurses are becoming more the primary caregiver in many cases than they were before.
Yeah, nurses, it's a time and age for a nurse right now. When I began, we barely used really the stethoscope. As I went back to school in the 80s, you were educated in assessments. So you had to take a real deep dive into pathology, anatomy, physiology, chemistry. I mean, you had to really get into the sciences, the organic sciences. So nurses have to be real smart, and many of them go on to school to be nurse practitioners, and that's who are your primary care providers. And I believe as time goes on, that will be really our primary care provider in the rural areas especially. Okay,
well, sometime in the last several years, you took a right turn. I mean, you as a nurse, you moved into the administrative area, and it had to be quite a change of lifestyle.
Well, it sure was. It was a gradual thing, though. It really was. Over the years, I sort of stuck my toe in the water, so to speak, with just being a supervisor to other nurses. And that sort of made me interested in leadership. And I thought, well, okay. And it was more or less people just offering positions and promotions. And the presidency at the hospital, kind of after Bruce left, that was one that I did interview for. But I had thought that was one I would not do. I really like being a chief nursing officer. And I was approached by the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth. Some of them came and they asked me to do that. And I thought, well, okay, maybe that is something I should do. It's kind of a funny story. Sister Frances Crumpleman came to see me, and I said, well, Sister Frances, I think I prayed about that, and the Lord said no, that I should just stay where I am. She said, well, I'm going to pray about it, and so are the sisters, so there you go, you know.
She's probably got a pretty good hotline to the Lord.
She apparently does. So.
Well, it had to be quite a challenge. I mean, obviously, I guess the first female president of Flaget Hospital. Did that present any particular challenge to you, or do you just see it as just a normal changeover?
Well, Suzanne Riesbeck actually was the first, I think, and she was there for about 3 years. And I really didn't, because I was chief nursing officer for about 11 years before that, and certainly being from Nelson County, it helped. So I had a lot of good leaders, a lot of good family support. Also the community, they just embraced helping me be successful.
Well, I guess that's what I was sort of leading to, the acceptance. I mean, people accepted you right away. I mean, and because you have to have a lot of support. I mean, that's something obviously I'm sure it'd be tough to do unless everybody's on board with you.
Yeah, it is. And, obviously your physicians, they're the ones that are the big players in healthcare. And we had a great physician staff. Some of the doctors were very, very supportive and have always been.
So what is the biggest challenge when you're running a hospital? I mean, obviously people think of hospital, they think there's a part over here for people that are going into surgery, there's a part for intensive care, you got the emergency room, but you got to think about every bit of it. I mean, so you can't just pick and choose which parts you like best.
No, you can. And, as an administrator, executive person, you have to remember that you take an oath just like everyone else, that your major task, your major responsibility is to the patient, not anything else. I know a lot of times administrators are kind of thought of as the ones that are worried about the money. Well, the money is important because if you don't have a margin,
you got to keep the doors open.
you won't be successful. So that was something that I did, really depend on some of the good leaders.
Yeah, well, that was what I was going to get into. You also, there's got to be a financial aspect to it that basically you got to survive, you got to thrive in order to keep the Flaget Hospital here. So my leading question is Flaget Hospital pretty solid to stay here for a while?
Flaget is very solid. I don't remember if you were here when I first came to Flaget. It was kind of struggling, and there was actually some talk about it closing. And that was on the front page of the paper, as I remember. And so they had asked me to come and start the skilled nursing unit. And that unit was really a very nice little unit, and it actually helped finances then. But over the years, it became very important that we be established and our foundation be firm, and we had a good board of community leaders that helped us do that. And we are very solid. We're in very good shape.
Good.
Yes.
Well, and I've been through the hospital several times, and the technology obviously is beyond what most people. I mean, the old hospital compared to this hospital, there's no comparison. I mean, there's just simply it's you can do just about anything here that just people. A lot of people have been traveling out of town to do for years. Yeah,
we have the MRI, the magnetic program, imaging program. We have CT scanning, we have the biopsy care, we have a doctor now, a surgeon, Dr. Shore, he does breast care, bariatric surgeon, he does that. Of course, Dr. Mickey's been here a long time and does it all. So there really isn't any reason now for heart attack care, where you have to have heart surgery. We don't do that, but we have a great connection with Jewish Hospital that we're able to get to very quickly. So. But we do. We have great technology. And something I'm really proud of is our cancer center. People don't realize that we have the radiation therapy, and that machine is absolutely wonderful. It's used to be you had a real broad area that you had to irradiate to try to get rid of cancer, but now it's very, very laser focused, and you don't have to kill the tissue like you used to. So we have that machine. It's a state-of-the-art machine that many people would love to have in other communities.
Well, cancer is not the death sentence it used to be. I mean, and that's a lot of it. I mean, obviously, and Flaget has played a big role in that. Yeah,
and we had some great doctors. We are connected with Brown Cancer Center for the radiation, and Dr. Martin does our medical oncology. So. Bobby Harnett, who everybody knows, M.T. Harnett's wife, and she is our director out there, so they do a great job.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, there's obviously, I'm sure there was a lot of long days. I mean, I'm sure during the last few years, 8-hour days was not a normal thing for you. So
no, I haven't seen those until I retired. No. So it was a wonderful career, and I loved it. But you need time for your family too. So.
Well, you said years of service, and I know nursing when you start out, it's a struggle. I mean, there's no question about it. There's not a lot of money into it. When you first start out, you work your way into the business. It's something you have to have a passion for, rather than go into it and say, what am I going to do to make $1 million? You don't normally get into community service like this.
No, you're not going to be a millionaire if you're a nurse, but it is a wonderful career, very rewarding, and people are very appreciative for the most part.
Okay. Well, at some point in the last year or so, you decided you've had all you wanted for a while. So what was the deciding factor to go ahead and
go on and retire?
Go ahead and retire.
I think the opportunity, and I'd always told them. Some of the docs asked me when I interviewed, how long are you going to do this? I said about 5 years, and so I did 5 years and 3 months, and that was pretty much enough. So.
Well, that's fantastic. Like I said, that the big thing is that we've got a great hospital in our community, financially sound that we know is going to be here, and so we've come a long way. We've come a long way for the Bardstown community, and I'm sure that's probably not just Bardstown. I'm sure you probably get people from all over the area.
We do. Hardin County, Marion County, Washington County. We actually have about 6 counties we pull from. Bullock County is a big county for us. A lot of people don't like to go downtown. So, and they're learning more and more about us. So our ED, since I've been there, has grown quite a lot. We used to have about 1,000 visits. Now we're up around 2,000 per month.
Well, so you're getting people in and out. There's plenty of space room out there. So and I know most people in single private rooms now. I don't think there's any double rooms out there anymore. So so that's a big advantage right there.
Yeah, the labor and delivery rooms are really, really big. They're set up for having the baby born right there in that room, and the daddy can stay, and the couches fold out and make a bed. And, it's a very nice layout.
Well, y'all did a fantastic job out there, and that's why I wanted to bring you in here, congratulate you on that. Not only just the career there at Flaget, but the 44 years of nursing is a lot to be proud of. Now, transferring from going to working 10, 12, 13 hours a day to retirement, was it a hard transition there?
Well, I thought it might be, but my husband took me to Myrtle Beach to start off, so that was kind of pleasant. Actually, I'm very involved in the church, and so other things, I'm keeping busy.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Does community service stop when you go ahead and retire?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Might slow down a little bit, though. And, I think it was just time for that transition, so it's worked real good.
Well, first of all, congratulations on a great career, and congratulations, like I said, in leading a fine hospital here, because it's something that's been an asset to the community, and to have somebody there that's made a difference is tremendous, and we do appreciate that, and I know people out there do too. And that's why we want to get a face with the name, to show people, the hospital's not just a big brick building out there along 245. It actually has people that make sure it happens. You've got yourself, you've got a board of directors, you've got several other people that are making a difference out there, and hospitals just don't happen. It takes somebody to make it happen.
It sure does, King. The people are what make it, and the people that work there, the very special group of people.
All right. Well, Sue Downs, the retired president of Flaget Memorial Hospital in Bardstown. I guess it's still Flaget Memorial Hospital.
It is.
Yeah, they change names around every now and then. You got the Kentucky One Health. You have all the other stuff that goes with it, but still Flaget is what we all grown to know and love, and it's here and going to stay a while.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Sue, thank you for coming in here. Appreciate you coming in and visit, and I hope you have a great retirement. And we don't want to lose you. You keep doing what you do, and our community will be a better place for it.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right, well, thank you. Well, stick around. A lot more to come here on Channel 6 TV. We'll be back with more community focus right after a few messages. We'll be right back.